Bless me. I love my people. And I love my people unconditionally. Despite it all. Make me sad. My Father in heaven is watching you. Hey, but I still love you. Make me sad. My Father in heaven is watching you. Yeah.
30 years in and I'm still on the grind with it. They still blind on the cool, but I'm fine with it. Freedom is a process full of complications, challenges you're facing when we building nations. Walking through the project, will these niggas test me? Block full of cop shit, will these hoes arrest me? Feel not on my mind as I walk with my chest out. Energy divine, black power, bring the best out. When they hit our neighborhood, we crack, I brought a fight to it. Banging had us in the dark, I brought a light to it. Yeah, it was times loving black folk hurt. The deaf, dumb, and blind only ask for work. But just like the streets can bring you drama, they can love you. Sitting here tired, black folk, thinking of you. Reflecting on my life along the way, I can't pretend. If I had another chance, I'd do this shit again, yo.
Make me sad. My Father in heaven is watching you. But I feel love you.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
My Father in heaven is watching you.
He watching. Yeah. Hey. That's why I ask people, man, they come to me talking about who they don't like. They don't like white folk and all that. But man, just cause you don't like white folk, don't mean you love black folks. Cause that's the real test. Can you love your people? Or do you look down on your people? Do you frown on your people? You know what I'm saying? Can you see their divinity? Can you see the talent? Can you see the beauty? You know what I'm saying? Do you see it as a privilege to be around your people? Huh? Can you love us through the house? Can you love us through the drugs? Can you love us through the power?
Speak through me, ancestors. Speak through me. Jimmy Kato was an African warrior who refused to be a slave. Back then, enslaved Africans knew who they were, and they did everything they needed to do. Ran to the hills, burned the house down, anything they had to do to not believe that they were slaves. I pretend to be a Catholic, but Ifa is what I practice. If we truly share the God, then why would they attack us? My captors speak Portuguese, I understand the language. I vow to never speak it, cause it represents my anguish. Months on the slave ship, weeks on an island, still haven't broke the warrior spirit I'm disguising. My people call me J-May, others call me Kato. They call the river Stono. They say that if you follow, that you could find the Huru, the end of all your sorrow. A whisper in my ear,
We burn Massa House tomorrow.
Congo yetu, yumbane kwa roho zetu, nili pikana kume, kwa uhuru wetu.
Asante, my descendants, will you make my spirit welcome? The spear was my tool, but my culture was my weapon. Please repeat my story, cause I will not live to tell one. I achieved my glory when I heard them yell rebellion. Asante, my descendants, will you make my spirit welcome? The gun was my tool, but my culture was my weapon. Please repeat my story. story, cause I will not live to tell one. I achieved my glory when I heard them yell rebellion.
For us, freedom was 200 miles away. At Fort Mose, we just got across the bay. When at night, forcing the fight, where they lay, the fright, knowing they might not see the day. We were strong, some of our own we had to slay. They were wrong, spiritually gone and led us straight. I want my throne, this was never my home. That's far away, I'm not alone. Spread out the bones and got our shake at the dock. They tell us to stop, we face to face if we escape. I know they too scared to give a chase. I put chemo in the ground, let blood go down my face. Cold water, swim daughter, try to keep the pace.
Asante, my descendants, will you make my spirit welcome? The spear was my tool, but my culture was my weapon. Please repeat my story, cause I will not live to tell one. I achieved my glory when I heard them yell rebellion. Asante, my descendants, will you make my spirit welcome? The gun was my tool, but my culture was my weapon. Please repeat my story, cause I will not live to tell one. I achieved my glory when I heard them yell rebellion, rebellion.
Family. If you're in or near Columbia, South Carolina, you've got to visit the House of Hathor, located at 6319 North Main Street. Open Tuesday through Saturday, it's your one-stop shop for African clothing, African masks, natural soaps, incense, candles, jewelry, and more. Plus, they've got a beautiful event space. Owned and operated by Baba Rutaski and Mama Neterma Canute. When you support the House of Hathor, you support the culture. When you support the House of Hathor, you support the movement. When you support the House of Hathor, you support the people.
The Uhuru Academy overall is an amazing school from the teacher to the students. Is a place where kids can build their confidence and learn how to write, read, type, all of that good stuff. We learn our history here. We honor our ancestors, so we learn about who we are and where we come from, and I really enjoy this about this school. And like everybody's pretty much saying, it's a safe space, and we can always be able to feel like we can open up to our classmates and our teachers. So that's what I love.
I love the environment and that they promote not being afraid to ask for help.
Something positive about the Uhuru Academy is this is a safe space and you can be able to say whatever you want to say without being embarrassed, just like how Amani said. I've been able to sometimes I can be shy talking around people, but y'all have taught me not to be shy and everything. This is a very good school. The part that I love about this is when we do ancestor reverence and African history.
I think this is the greatest school I've ever went to because you teach me about my history, and at the other schools they never taught me one thing about my history. They just taught, the only black people they talked about at my other schools were Carter G. Woodson, Martin Luther King, and I think that's it. So you guys helped me learn my true history.
Recently, many of our heroes and sheroes from the Black Power movement have been joining the ancestors. Mutulu Shakur, Asada Shakur, and Jamil Al-Amin, formerly H-Rap Brown, come from a generation of black youth that took on the most powerful nation in the world and exposed it on the global stage with the ghetto as their headquarters. Whether it was the Black Panther Party embarrassing Reagan, the organization Us creating Kwanzaa, Mutulu curing addiction with acupuncture, or the BLA liberating Asada, the Black Power generation put a brilliance on display that got them declared the biggest threat to the internal security of the United States. Angela beat California, and Afeni beat New York, then gave us pop. The cops watched them, and they watched the cops. Even old Negroes grew afros, and everybody had to address Black Power. George Jackson educated us from behind the wall, and his little brother Jonathan embodied by any means necessary. And the music, what's going on, and say it loud all the way down the Soul Train line. The country fought back, political prisoners, harassment, assassinations, crack, and an education system that buries the facts. So when they die, we celebrate what they did, not what they lacked. They put us out front, we can at least have their back. I'm Baba Amin. It's been a minute.
Peace, peace, peace. Let me do this. Peace, 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 and Black Power. How's everybody doing? Let me get my mic right. All right, all right, all right. Giving all praises to the Creator and all praise to the ancestors. Peace and power, y'all. This is your brother Baba Amin, and this is the build. You know what I'm saying? And man, I love it when I get to stream. I haven't streamed in a while. You know what I'm saying? And so whenever I get to do a little something, man, it's always a blessing. I look forward to talking to the family. I look forward to just kind of sharing my perspective on things. Hopefully, you come away inspired. Hopefully, you come away informed. You know what I'm saying? If you like what you hear, feel free to share it. We're just here to teach. We just here to teach. We just here to spread a positive message. Somebody in the chat, let me know if you can hear me okay. Somebody in the chat, let me know if you can hear me okay. You know what I'm saying? And yes, all praises to the Most High Mama Witness. I'm going to take that to mean that y'all hear me okay. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Like I said, it's an honor to be here. I am humbled to be able to serve my people, humbled to be able to serve the community, humbled to be able to serve our Creator. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, man. You know, it's love. It's love. It's love. It's an honor to be here. And shout out to Miss Mo in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell y'all everything we got going on, but I'm gonna tell you something. Every now and then we come across a community partner that we feel that we're gonna do great things with. And Miss Mo, you one of them. You know what I'm saying? And it was an honor spending time with you today, putting things together as we expand the Uhuru model, as we you know, do what we do, as we do our duty in serving the community. I've been outside, y'all. We outside. It's that season. It's that season. It's that season when we outside. It's that season where families are gathering. You know, it's the holiday season, so families are gathering and coming together for Christmas and Kwanzaa. You know what I'm saying? Communities are coming together during this time. Shout out to all the community Kwanzaas, all the community Kwanzaa events out there. You know what I'm saying? It's that time of year, right? It's an exciting time of year for me, an energized time of year for me and my family, not just because we get together, but also because it's a time where we get out here and we get to do some community work. You know what I'm saying? I ain't a spring chicken no more, y'all, so I gotta pick my spots. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pick my spots. Like right now, for me, it's about the quality of the experience, not the quantity of experiences. So I'm not out in the hood every day like I used to, like back in the day, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Butler Housing, you know what I'm saying? And then a show on the weekend, you know, not back in the day, not like back in the day when we was teaching the history and stepping and putting skits together and going out and performing for the community. You know, man, that's how I got started in this. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got started educating young people. You know what I'm saying? But that was way back then. You know what I'm saying? So the fire's still burning, but we ain't out there as much as we used to be. So when we do get the opportunity to really be out there, in the community and putting in work, we try our best to take advantage of it and make sure that it's as impactful, you know what I'm saying, as possible. You know what I'm saying? And so that's very, very, very important. For those who don't know me, I am Dr. Baba Amin Ojuwoke, co-founder along with my beautiful wife, Mama Nkoyo Ojuwoke, of the Uhuru Academy and Uhuru Academy Education Solutions. You know what I'm saying? I am a street scholar, family man, activist, hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying? A teacher primarily, because everything else I do, really, I just use as an avenue through which to teach, you know. And so it's an honor to be here. Peace, Tyrone Johnson. Now, Tyrone, are you the Tyrone I grew up with? Are you Tyrone from Burton Street, Tyrone? That's what I want to know. I've been seeing you, man, and I'm like, man, I think that's Tyrone. You know what I'm saying? Let me know, man. Let me know in the chat, man, if that's Tyrone, who I used to play throw up tackle with. You know what I'm saying, on on Burton Street, man. Let me know if that's you, man. We ain't seen each other in years. I believe it is, but I don't think I've ever seen you grown. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man. You know, it's an honor that you here. It's an honor that you here, y'all. It's a lot going on. We're gonna try to get to a little bit today. I try to bring some perspective to the game. I try to bring an African center perspective to things that are going on. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of help people think, right? A lot. Let's face it. People are on here, right? People are on YouTube. People are on the Facebooks, things like that. You know, now Facebook is just people my age, according to my children, but people my age need to learn too, right? And we out here, right? And so there's a lot of misinformation out here as well. You know what I'm saying? So those of us who kind of have an opinion, those of us who study, those of us who are kind of working in these lanes where we're seeing what's going on, not just what the media shows us, but what's going on behind the scenes, we should be out here offering some perspective. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just trying to do my part with the build. You know, like I said, it's an honor for everybody to be here. Yo, I played some stuff, man. You know, whenever you come on to the build, you're going to see commercials and ads from our community partners. And of course, we're always looking for new community partners with the build. Matter of fact, if you want to see more of the build, right, then we have to go ahead and let's find some community partners out. Let's partner up. Right? Let's partner up and get this information out here. We would love to bring guests on to interview. We would love to highlight and spotlight Black-owned businesses. You know what I'm saying? We would love to do more with the build. I want to take this thing and really create segments, the whole 9 yards. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe, now I know, we could produce one heck of a podcast, one heck of a show if we all just come all in with it. And make it happen, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the House of Hathor out there, 6319 North Main Street. If you're in the Columbia area, you know what I'm saying? If you want to walk into a beautiful space, find culturally appropriate material and merchandise, you know, curated just for us, go to the House of Hathor. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody's welcome. Right, but the stuff in there that's curated is curated for us. Definitely go in there, spend some money this holiday season. It ain't too late to get those last minute Christmas gifts, or go ahead and get those Kwanzaa gifts as well. Go up in there, man, and support Mama Angela and Baba Rutaski. Support them and support us, right, by going to the House of Hathor. You know what I'm saying? Also got a shout out, you know, the Uhuru Academy. You know what I'm saying? This podcast is also sponsored by the Uhuru Academy, the world's greatest African center school. You know what I'm saying? And that is not a slight to any other African center school out there. You know what I'm saying? When we say we great, we just saying that the creator is great. That's all that is, you know. And so, and we pay homage to that. But shout out to the Uhuru Academy, all of our beautiful parents, all of our intelligent students, all of our supporters out there. We celebrating 15 years. 15 years, wouldn't be here without you, couldn't be here without you. 15 years independent, 15 years of the Uhuru Academy. You know what I'm saying? And I think back to getting started in Fort Worth, man, and where we came from and where we are now, you know, and it's all with black hands, right? So see, it's like, it's hard for me to be mad at my people. It's hard for me to jump around and just criticize my people. Like, you get a lot of clicks and views for criticizing black people. Like, that's the easiest way. You know what I'm saying? That's the easiest way for commentators like myself to get views, is to come out and criticize black people. Easy to do, right? And hey, many of us want criticism, what people don't, right? But I don't want that to be the foundation of what we do. I want the foundation of what we do is to spread positive energy. You know what I'm saying? And to highlight what we're doing right. Shout out to my teacher, Ricky Clark, who taught me there's nothing wrong with us. that what's right with us can't fix, right? And so we have plenty of podcasts out here that's talking about what's wrong with us, right? Right. We need to speak a little bit more about what's right with us, because that's where we're going to find the solutions and the cure to what's wrong with us. I hope that makes sense. Right? I hope that makes sense to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I am in so many chat groups. Y'all stop putting me in chat groups. Stop putting me in group chats without hollering at me directly. I'm in so many group chats. You know what I'm saying? I get so many notifications throughout the day. But it be some good stuff. It be some good stuff. But a couple of group chats I'm in, man, y'all be posting some of the wildest stuff, man. You know, and like the way out knowledge stuff, you know. Spaceship just landed in Finland and all that kind of stuff. You know, and I be like, man, that's an AI video. Why are you sending me that? That's not real, you know. And but at any rate, man, I'm just saying, quit putting me in all them chat groups, man. But some of them are good, but some of y'all wild, man. All right then. Yo, what's up with it, Metu? What's up, Metu Jalo? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? All right. Yo, it's a lot going on. One thing that's going on, I know it's the holidays. I want to get to this before we get into the topic. You know what I'm saying? We have, you know, some of you all are out trying to figure out what can you get for your child, you know, this Christmas and Kwanzaa season. And notice I don't come out just dissing Christmas and things like that, man. But the people are doing what the people are doing. You know what I'm saying? The people are doing what the people are doing. Let's work. Let's work within that framework as best we can. You know what I'm saying? While busting up the framework at the same time. But yo, we got Christmas going on, and some of you all are looking for something educational to give your child. Right? Some of y'all are looking for something, that educational gift, especially those who are celebrating Kwanzaa, right? Right? We looking for something educational to give our child that's fun at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And I got just the gift. I got just the gift, right? The UACI STEM camp is the gift. Okay? The UACI STEM camp is the gift. And I'm going to put the link in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put the link in the chat. STEMcamp.com. UACISTEMcamp.com. Y'all share that out, right? The perfect last minute gift for your child, your children, is the STEM camp. It is the greatest STEM camp in the world. And I'm gonna tell you something. Slots are filling fast. Ain't a lot of room left in the STEM camp, right? But it's fun. We're going to be going from the 29th of December to the 2nd of January. Each day, they're going to put in about 3 hours, man, of learning, engagement, having fun. Oh, man, it's off the chain. Let me play this quick ad for y'all, man. I can show you better than I can tell you. All right, so you checking it out right here. I decided to just put the flyer up. You got from the 29th through the 2nd, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That Friday is basically it's graduation day. Yo, they all gonna get camp T-shirts. Right, this is everybody that participates. They get the UACI STEM camp T-shirt. They're gonna definitely get a certificate of completion. Right, but what's really cool, right, is that they're all gonna get a microbit computer sent to them in the mail. Right, that's theirs, right? Because they're going to be learning the basics of circuitry, the basics of programming, right? Using this microbit, right? Learning how to make those LED lights come on, that sort of thing. Man, it's a lot of fun. UACI stands for Uhuru Academy, Conscious Ingenuity. Give me 10 seconds to tell you about my powerful partner, Dr. Oya Mayat, engineering professor, Morgan State University, a voice in our community, a powerful voice in our community. If you haven't caught her podcast, Truth to Power Talk, you definitely need to check it out. Well, we combined forces back in 2023 and developed the UACI Online Winter STEM Camp, right? And basically what happens is they're with my crew in the morning. Shout out to Mr. Sean Gales. Shout out to Tajiri Kando, my son, right? They're with my crew in the morning learning the Black contribution to STEM. And y'all know how we teach Black history. Y'all know how we do it. It's active, it's fun, it's engaging, right? They doing cahoots and games, the whole 9 yards. We're measuring they learning. It's off the chain, right? Well, then after they come from us, take a break, they come back. Now they with the CI crew.
They with the UA crew at first, then they jump to the CI crew. The CI crew come in, and I'm gonna tell you something about Dr. Oya Mayat. She's creating engineers. She's at Morgan State training and graduating black electrical engineers, many of them black males, right? And these young brothers are the teachers at the camp, right? These young, shout out to Chaz, right? Amin, shout out to all the CI crew, right? They come in after us, and they're teaching them AI technology, the basics of cybersecurity, right? Circuitry, electrical engineering, coding, right? And it's interactive and it's fun. It's project-based learning online because they actually using the microbit computer, right, to do the lessons. Oh, man. When I tell you that this is the greatest STEM camp on the planet, now this one I mean, right? But I'm also saying God is great. Now, I'm saying God, when we say this camp is the greatest, that's because God is the greatest, right? But this camp is the greatest. Right? And once UACI, always UACI. You know what I'm saying? And so we have students that's been attending the camp since 2023, and we building real pipelines. We're developing real pipelines into college, into technical schools, where young people who are serious about STEM, they ain't got to worry about paying for it. Right? So this is another initiative that you can support. This is another initiative that you can support to help us build these pipelines, build these scholarships, man. Scan that code on the screen, right? Register your nephew. Register your son. Register your daughter. Register your niece. Now, it's limited slots, and they fill fast. So this ain't one you want to sit up and contemplate and think about. Trust me when I say, and I mean trust this 30-plus year educator whose first classroom was the community room in Butler Housing. Trust me when I say they're going to have a great time. They're going to have a great time. Trust me when I say that. UACI Winter STEM Camp. All right, I talked about that longer. Now I want to shout out Supreme Raw Africa. What's up with it? That's my brother right there. Original Uhuru Academy family. One of our first instructors. Where'd my water cup go? Okay, y'all, I got to break the fourth wall right quick. Yo, Uhuru Malik, bring me a cup of water, son. I appreciate you. You get my age, you need water next to you. Excuse me. At all times. You know what I'm saying? You get up here. Pring, we getting up there, man. Look at you see the master teacher beard, right? You see the master teacher, it's all white. It ain't even gray no more. It's white. We getting up there, man. We getting up there. But yeah, I want to talk about some things that's going on, man, because I know y'all gonna be having some conversations with your family, you know, some hot topics. Thank you, son. My son, he brings me so little water. You could have gave me a little more. But Asante Sana though, Rue. You know you're thirsty when you swallow so hard. The audio get distorted. Man, all right then. But yeah. But it's a lot going on, man. Y'all gonna have a lot of conversations. It's a lot to talk about. A lot going on out here. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody's been talking about the Diddy documentary on Netflix. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy discussion. So many ways to look at that, man. So many ways to look at that, man. I know y'all gonna be talking about that over the holidays with your family. You know, and it's gonna make for some fun and powerful conversations, I'm sure. You know, I'm always looking at the bigger picture. I'm always looking outside of the content, right? Because you got the content, you know, that you know, when we watch it, Prince, they must have water next to my bed. I would choke to death. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm about to put you out there, Capri. I'm about to put you out. I'm gonna take another drink to that too. But yeah, man, y'all know I like to look outside. What's up, Bob Rutaski? I like to look outside the content. Like, yes, I watched the content, right? And I took my time watching it, right? I went ahead and I watched the content. But before I go watch the content, I like to go watch the business around the content. Right? Right? I like to go watch the business around the content. Like in America, you always have to ask the question, what's really going on? Right? Right? In this country, you always have to ask the question, either what you have to ask two questions. Look, what's really going on and what else is going on? Right? Because when I say what's really going on, that's implying that what they showing you ain't true. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes what you're being shown has truth in it, right? Is full of truth, right? Right? But sometimes even when you're seeing that truth, it's something else going on. You know what I'm saying? To add context, right? There are other players in the game that have other motives, right? And sometimes we dismiss who else is in the game. We dismiss what else is going on behind the scenes, and we just get caught up in the what? Laser focused in the content. And so then we start responding to the content, arguing over the content, debating the content, but we're not looking at the creation of the content. We're not looking at the motives of the players and those who bring forth the content. Is it just a profit motive? Is this Netflix saying we about to cash in, right? Right? Partnering with 50. And is it just a pure profit motive? Right? Because Diddy's been in the news for the past, 5 years with this? 5, 6 years with this? Right? So, and everybody kind of thought, man, we know all there is to know right now. At this point, no one could present us with anything new. Then boom. Dropped it right back into our consciousness. Drop the Diddy story right back into our consciousness, right back into our culture, right back into our conversation. Right? Right? And they made off with a bag. They are making off with a bag. Those with the profit motive, those who are in it, the partners in it for the profit motive, mission accomplished. Right? Right? Like they don't care about it. They're not worried about how you come away mentally. They're not worried about what happens to Diddy. They're not worried about any of that kind of stuff. Their motive is just pure profit. They having a Merry Christmas in Hanukkahs. Right? But we're hyper focused on the content. We're not necessarily looking at everybody in their motives, right? Right? Do any of those who created does any of those who created the documentary have a justice motive? Do they have a justice motive? Are there any creators that are saying, you know what, we just want to get people like Diddy off the streets? You know what? I'm just standing up for battered women, or I'm standing up for those who are exploited in the sex business. Are any other creatives actually there out of human interest? Right? Because that's usually the marketing ploy. That's the marketing line. Like when they interview 50, he's kind of like, I don't want people thinking that hip hop supports that. Right? I want to make sure that people know that hip hop don't support that. I thought that was a strange statement that he made, right? He made a statement as if he's doing it because he's standing up for hip hop culture. He's doing it because he's afraid hip hop culture is gonna get a bad rap. Man, that's like pouring water on a fish. Y'all already wet, bruh. We already wet, but that's just marketing. Because you can't come out and just say, I did it to make money. I did it because this is the hottest story, one of the hottest stories out there right now, and we've been waiting for the trial to hit and all of that, get out the way, and now we dropping it. We got some footage, and we know everybody gonna tune in, and we just sold it to Netflix, and I'm just making money. It ain't even personal. It ain't even personal. You can't say that on Good Morning America. Good Morning America, you got to say, yo, I don't want people to think that hip hop supports that. Supports what? Let's see. Does hip hop culture? And now y'all know I love hip hop, right? And we not a monolith. But is there a section of hip hop culture that actually supports abusing women? Is there an aspect of hip hop culture that supports prostitution and hoeing and pimping is there an aspect of hip hop culture, right? That's kinky and freaky and down for whatever. So what aspect of what went on with Diddy is 50 trying to protect hip hop's image from? We just came out the drill rap era. He want to make sure that they don't think that hip hop supports Diddy. Yeah. Shit. Hip hop helped create Diddy. And I'm not going at hip hop culture. I love hip hop. I'm of the hip hop generation. You know what I'm saying? I'm 53 years old and I got on this hoodie. It feel like skin to me, right? So this ain't slander against hip hop culture. I'm just asking questions, right? Right? And yes, there's an aspect of hip hop culture, that supports all of that. Right? There's an aspect of hip hop. You can find all that in hip hop. All of that. Always could. It was just once upon a time it was underground where it belongs. It's the lower self. It should be the lower part of the community. It should be underground. That was the underground music at one time. Above ground, it was what we wanted to project out to the world, project out to the community. And then somewhere it got flipped. Like I'm a positive MC and I've been underground my whole career. Like the positive political shit is underground. And the shit that used to be the stuff that used to be underground is now the above the ground. And when it became the above the ground, right? Look, a lot of young black men and women got rich. Yes, but a lot of young black men and black women got exploited too. Got harmed too. Got robbed too. We sit and we watch some of our favorite artists like the Locks, fight for years. Fight for years to get their fair compensation from a black CEO. Right? We watched that. I was watching a great interview with Bun B today. And I wish I could recall the name of the show. I'll put it in the comments because I want y'all to support them. Support her. Beautiful sister. But Bun B has a great interview out right now, And he talks about how the record label that him and Pimp C signed to, the great UGK, the greatest rap duo of all time, when they signed to Jive back in 91, 92, right? And he talked about how here we are 33 years later, they've never got a check from Jive. Not a profit check. They'll get an advance. But somehow, no matter what goes on, right, they end up owing the company, or breaking even and not making a profit no matter how much they sold. So plenty black men and young black women were exploited during this time as well. Right? You're talking about a game, and I'm talking about the music business, that's so cutthroat, right? That's so cutthroat, and especially in the 90s. I know because I was in the music business in the 90s. And you talking about a business that's so cutthroat, and it was cutthroat when we got there. It didn't get cutthroat because they started signing gangster rappers. The business was cutthroat. The business was gangster when we got there. Ask Eazy-E and Ice Cube now, right? Ask Cube how gangster Jerry Heller was, right? So the industry was already a playground for monsters. It was already a playground for rapists. It was already a playground for murderers. It was already a playground for powerful people who got their rocks off by harming less powerful people. Hell, the business model is based on powerful people exploiting less powerful people, taking their creativity, taking their intellectual property, turning it into profit and not sharing any of it with the creators. Right? Give them the fame, you keep the fortune. Matter of fact, turn them into intellectual property. Turn them into property. Turn them into property where they can't even use their own name without my permission. They can't go nowhere else, create anything else. They're property. They're my intellectual property. That's how the business is built. We call it the music business, but it's actual the intellectual property business. What is intellectual property? Your kuumba, your creativity. Things you create, things you write, things that come from you. That's your intellectual property. But there are other people out here with a different kind of creativity. They know how to create ways to monetize other people's shit. They create ways to monetize other people's creation. It's like, wait a minute, I can't create the creation, but I can create a machine and a system, right? Where I can get rich off that creation, control the creator, and even guide the creator to create things that I want created. Look around you. You're surrounded by things that somebody else created. You're surrounded by things that at one time didn't exist, and somebody had an idea and brought that thing into fruition. It's the intellectual property business. Because when you create something in a society of thieves, you got to protect it. We live in a den of thieves. We live in a place where they will take your innocence. They'll take your possessions. We live in a place that'll take your dignity. We live in a place that'll take your identity, your essence. I like that. Peace to that guy. Honey Brown. That's the type of place we live in. So if you want to eat off of, live off of, build off of what you create, you got to know how to protect it. But it's sharks out here circling the waters. And when I watch documentary like Diddy, I'm thinking the context of the environment that we were in at that time. And what happens is that sometimes on the way to success, you have to compromise things about yourself that'll change you forever. I'm going to say it again. Sometimes, a lot of times, on the way to success, you have to compromise things about you that will change you forever. Wait a minute, you don't have to do it, but you will be presented with opportunities to do it. When the pressure is on and you talented and people see you talented, but they see you starving, they'll let you starve a little bit. Because the more you starve, the more you'll put up with. The more you're starving, the less picky you are about your next meal. So I bring you in as if it's an act of benevolence. I just saved your life. I just pulled you out of the situations that you hated. You hate poverty. You hate all these things. So I just pulled you up out of that. You owe me everything. You want to go back to where I found you? So you live in a society where money, wealth, influence gives you power. And if you don't check your ego, if you live in a society where powerful people enjoy creating opportunities for people who are not powerful, not because they want to see the unpowerful gain power or be successful, but because they enjoy the power that it gives them over the lives of other people. And it gives them license. It gives them license to impact those people any way they choose. They ask you questions like, how bad do you want to be here? See, y'all don't understand what it's like, young artists, incarcerated daddy, drug addicted mama, living from couch to couch. But they have a powerful talent. They are griot. They are natural storyteller. They hear songs in their head. They hear lyrics and rhymes in their head. They in tune with the universe, and they can drop a jewel on you just like that. You know what I'm talking about, Praying. They have the power to move us. Everybody don't have that. They have the power to move people with their words. They have the power to put us into a rhythm. They have the power to make us laser focus and remember everything that they say. It's almost like the power of suggestion. It's almost hypnotic. But they don't have nothing. And they looking at the bait. Look at that car that rapper got. Shit. Look at the chain. Look at the women. Man, they flying overseas. I'm sitting on my homeboy couch and his mama already looking at me sideways. I'm in the streets trying to hustle. I can't find a job. I'm looking. It's not happening for me. But I got this gift. And they seem to value this gift over there. And them cats is getting cars and girls and houses. I know people tell me to give up on this gift, but man, I know I'm gifted. It feels like I'm called to do this. I'm young. I'm impressionable. I want to be over there. That'll get me off my homeboy mama couch. Man, that'll get me out these streets. I'm going to go over there. How do I get over there? Where do I go? I gotta check out some local shows. I gotta try to put something on a beat or something. You know what I'm saying? I gotta record something. I gotta figure how to do this thing. I ain't got no money. What do I do? See, now y'all got, I want y'all to imagine this. Y'all got phones. You can put a studio on a cell phone now. Right? If you want to record something, you can do it. Hell, AI do it for you now. But think about 1993. 94, 95, wasn't no such thing as a home studio unless you rich and in your home you can actually remodel a room and put that big ass analog board in there and have you a studio in your house. See, I can wake up and be a rapper in 2025. I can even put music out if I want to, anytime I want to. Which is a blessing and a curse too, but that's another discussion. But back in that day, you couldn't do that. When me and my partner Low got hooked up with Zeno G. Shout out to Zeno G. Shout out to LO to G. East Side. Shout out to Kevin Smith, Patrick Bates. You know what I'm saying? Puppy Dog Unlimited, Billy Badass for life, right? When we went on that adventure and got into the music business, me and Low and Z, when we did that and built the studio in Arlington, you know, in the 90s, in the mid 90s, we was an elite company. Everybody couldn't do that. Everybody couldn't do that. So you had people, and everybody wasn't in the situation we were in where we had financial backers so we can get in there and just do what we do. It was a lot harder to be independent back then. A lot more expensive to be independent back then. So in the environment where you had your Diddy and your Shugs and all of them, man, that was your Master P's and Jay Prince, the Tony Draper, all of them, man, whew. To get on, you might have to hurt somebody to get on. You had to watch who you were signing with back in them days. You come in there and find out your favorite artist and find out what they did to get on the label. You like, oh shit, he gave that up. He went in there and gave that up. Whole bunch of people said, well, shoot, you know, if I just let this old white man do this to me, it's on. He say he gonna back me. I ain't gay. It's just, you know, it's an opportunity. I got to get off my homeboy mama couch. When you desperate, man, when you desperate, the music business is one of those industries that will turn you into a monster. That will tap, especially in the 90s, especially back then, especially when hip hop became mainstream. And cats had $1 million budgets for their music videos. So y'all can't imagine that. Because you can do a video on your phone now. But back then, it was Hype Williams and them $1 million budget for the video. You don't think that was competitive? Nowadays, all of us in here, Rutesky, Nakar, Marcy, all of us in here got our own little algorithm and our own little playlist, and they're diverse. There's artists on there ain't nobody heard of. There's artists on there that everybody knows. It's 5,000. It's 1 million stars now. 1 million stars. In the 90s, you might have named 12 mainstream rap artists that you know that people knew. Everybody wasn't famous, and everybody famous wasn't making no money. It was only one way to be an artist in the 90s. It was expensive. And you had people trying to climb out of poverty. We're in the midst of a crack epidemic. We're in the midst of one of the biggest genocidal attacks on the black community since slavery. We banging in the streets. Man, please. Y'all so shocked. I was so not shocked at anything I saw on that documentary. I'm more shocked by what they don't show. I was so not shocked by anything I saw. I'm like this. I thank the creator that I was aware. I thank the creator for my consciousness even back then. And being conscious enough to know that that's not a circus I want to join. If you would have asked anybody back then, or if you'd have told anybody back then that in 2025, both Sean Puffy Combs and Marion Suge Knight would be in the penitentiary, we'd have laughed at you. If you'd have told us that in 2025, that both Suge and Diddy would be in the penitentiary, we would have laughed at you. Because we thought they was too rich to go to the pen. We think money saves us. We think money scrubs this off. We think money is the great equalizer. We do. And rich black folk do have privileges that poor black folks don't. But they still black folks. So without going into the content, I like to look at the content. I like to look around the content. What's going on around the content? They got you looking in your phone, but you need to be looking around your phone. Right? There's a story behind everything you see that you don't see. Because all that stuff is happening out here. All that is happening out here. So I like this time of year. Because people getting together, seeing each other face to face. Now, some of y'all going to be sitting at your house like this. 30 people in the room and everybody looking at their phone. But at least y'all together. Try to have a couple of real conversations. You know what I'm saying? It's too cold to travel in 30-degree weather just to sit up somewhere and be quiet. But anyway, that's my take, man. Look at the power dynamics of everything. I'm put the whole Diddy situation in a historical context, and you'll see that, yeah, there's more to be seen and more to be told about that era in hip hop, that era in the black community as a whole. We got to make sure we're telling those stories, not just as an exposés, but in an educational way as well. But don't pull no punches, and who get hit. You know what I'm saying? All right. I ain't gonna keep y'all much longer. But I do want to touch on something and give my perspective on something that that really intrigued me, right? And shout out to 21 Savage. He just released a project a couple weeks ago. But evidently, a few days ago, 21 Savage, who is a world-renowned artist, you know what I'm saying, very talented MC, he posted out, he put out a post saying, F the streets. And F don't stand for fancy, right? But he put out a post where he's saying F the streets. And what he's saying like F having to look over my shoulders all the time. Like F the lifestyle. Like this is too stressful. I'm gone. I'm out of this. I'm gone. F the streets, right? And very interesting conversation ensued inside of our community, especially the black, the hood community and the working class community, hip hop community. A very interesting conversation has been sparked because such a high profile artist and known for being street, known for his gangster lyrics and all of that. And he's supposed to be one of them real ones, right? That everybody say 21 Savage has actually been a savage. He's one of them real ones. But he came out and with the motive, I felt, of trying to push some positivity, he said F the streets. And some people actually, and no, Treese, I ain't hit Nikki yet. I ain't talked about Nikki yet, but I will touch on that. You know what I'm saying? It was interesting when he said that because, like, you had people like Boosie, who, if I'm not mistaken, is on his way back to jail, right? So I found it interesting. He came out and y'all, you ain't gotta post everything. So to me, when people post something, they're doing it intentionally, right? Either for the attention or something, right? Or maybe it's out of emotion. But if we at this big age and we're posting out of emotion, then you're dangerous. You're dangerous to yourself and the people around you. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Boosie posts, that hey, the street shaped you. The street shaped you. The streets made you the man you are. He say, if you don't want to talk about the gang stuff, don't talk about it. But don't say F the streets. Boosie say he would never say F the streets. That he owes the streets everything. As far as being the man that he is. Right now, he's a man that's still fighting the system. Right now, he's a man that actually beat a case where he was facing a death penalty. Came back out, built this business back up because Boosie has a following, right? Right. His business acumen is on point. He is an iconic artist, especially in the South. Period. Ain't taking nothing away from him. You can't do it. You can't do it. Right? But the irony in his statement can't be overlooked. The irony that you're still dealing with things that happen in the streets while standing up for the streets is intriguing. But I get it. But I get it. Now, part of it, this is the cynic in me, part of it is ego. Part of it is me saying, man, when I commit myself to something, even if it's ignorant, I committed to it. So if I say it's ignorant, I'm saying I'm ignorant, and I'm not willing to say that about myself. Part of it is that part of your ego that protects your self-image. So it rationalizes everything you do to yourself. That makes sense? So yeah, I'm out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying? But shit, I'm just trying to win. Rationalizing it. Yeah, I'm out here slanging dope. I remember back in the day when I was, out there as a young activist or whatever, and talking to my brothers who was out there slanging and selling. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, I do it, but I'm doing it to survive. They had to rationalize it, but I saw the pain in their face. I saw the pain in their face, though. So they had to rationalize it, though, because you can't get out there and do it if you don't justify it to yourself first. And you are constantly arguing with yourself because you're constantly witnessing the pain that you're helping to inflict on somebody else for profit. It takes a certain cognitive dissonance to allow a grown man that you knew before he got addicted to crack, right? To allow him to wash your cars and do everything for you in exchange for drugs. Knowing he got kids, knowing he got a family, knowing all these things, even though, hey, you didn't make that man take dope. You didn't make him do that. But every time you hand it to him, you're profiting off of his problem. And you have to rationalize that shit in your head. Right? So a part of the reasons why we have to cling on to the streets too is that ego piece where if we admit that we've done it wrong, if we admit that we got it wrong, then we're saying we wrong, and the ego won't let you do that. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let me speak on behalf of somebody who's down with the Black Liberation Movement. We done it wrong too. Let me speak on behalf of somebody who's a Pan-African. We've done it wrong too. There's always been these two dynamics in the streets. You've had the hustlers, you've had the activists. Go check out the movie The Mac. Look at the documentary on the making of the movie The Mac and see the dynamic between the Black Panther Party and the Ward brothers in Oakland. This is a pivotal time in the United States because you never had a Black Power movement like this. You've had street hustling for some decades. Vice is in America. Vice is as American as apple pie. Matter of fact, vice, and when I say vice, I'm talking gambling. I'm talking prostitution. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Vice, right? That's more American than apple pie. This is a vice country. This country's built on vice. What goes on in Vegas, what? Right? So you had the vice trades already. But here comes this Black Power movement in the late 60s and 70s. These little ghetto kids, these hood kids that's doing free breakfast programs and following the police around. Right? Yes. So I think it's called The Making of the Mac or something like that, Trees. But go check it out. And check out the dynamic between the Panthers and the Ward brothers. The Panthers literally kicked the dough in on the executive producer. Say, Huey want to see you, Huey P. Newton. And the Panthers basically told them, you ain't going to film this movie if you're not paying the Panthers. You need security, huh? So we going to be your security. But then on the other side, the executive producers of the movie, they went and got with the Ward brothers, who was the biggest dope dealers, pimps. They ran the Vice in Oakland. And they pitted the two against each other, which they didn't need no help with that, because obviously Black Panther Party is going to be diametrically opposed to the hustlers in the hood. But in a lot of neighborhoods, there was an uneasy truce, because you had people hustling who still believe, who would sneak and kick some money down for the movement. You had people in the movement who had families that was on the hustle. So it was still, it wasn't all out war. Where here comes the Mac, they come in, and now you got the hustler pitted against the Black Panther Party. One of the Ward brothers ended up getting killed. Many people believe that it may have been, I'm not putting it out there, but many people believe that it may have been a result of this conflict between the Panthers and the Ward brothers. When you watch the movie The Mac, you're going to say it's going to in honor of a man, Frank Ward. Frank Ward was a Mac. Right? So you've always had this dynamic in our community, in the streets. This relationship between hustlers and activists, hustlers and organizers. When you look at early movies like Superfly, Hollywood started clowning the organizer and uplifting the hustler. If you look at Shaft, right, you see the point in history where society, where Hollywood, where the machine got behind the black hustler and said, we're going to elevate the black hustler and we're going to clown the black activist. When you look at Shaft was a PI. He wasn't a hustler. And he had to go to the Black Power brothers to get help to rescue this hustler's daughter. The hustler's paying for everything. The PI who's educated and kind of in the world or whatever, sleeping with white women or whatever, he's the hero figure, right? And then you got the Black Power militants who are like his army. But they're undisciplined. They come out victorious, but they're not depicted as strong. So you start seeing the putting down of the black activists and the glorification of the black hustlers in the 70s. Superfly the same way. He got that scene where he go in the restaurant. The brother's like, man, you out here making all this money, hustler. You need to help the brothers. We got brothers in prison. Superfly say, man, I ain't giving y'all shit. Now, if y'all want to get down there and get down with Whitey, I'll come right down with you. But till then, leave me alone. Strong statement. But Superfly was just trying to make money. He wasn't trying to get down there with Whitey. And it was really to show how weak the Black Power movement had become. So the black hustler's been elevated, you know what I'm saying, in our culture for quite some time. When the crack era came, the drug dealer was both villain and hero at the same time. When crack hit, sometimes the drug dealer was the only source of financial loans, only in the black community. The only source of somebody to donate to the youth program in the community. A lot of times they were the biggest tithers in the church. But they were destroying the community at the same time. And you had some who tried to invest in the community. But it seems whenever they stepped over that line and became more of an activist, all of a sudden, they couldn't sell dope no more. All of a sudden, it's time for them to get arrested. All of a sudden, all their property is seized. So there's this glorification of the streets, but there's also this depiction of the streets to where when we hear the streets, we instantly think black crime. When we hear the streets, we think about the street hustler. When we hear the streets, we think about black on black crime. We hear somebody say the streets, most of us, to the layman, right? Especially those of us who don't live in the streets or didn't come up in the streets, we just think about that aspect of the streets. But the brother in the fruit stand, he on the street, he in the streets too. The sister that's doing hair in the projects, she in the streets too. The cat with the barbecue truck in the hood, he in the streets too. He outside the club selling barbecue. He ain't selling nothing but barbecue, but he in the streets. See, when we think about the streets, see, 21 Savage didn't say, man, F the crime. He didn't say F black on black people killing black people. He didn't say F selling drugs to black. He wasn't specific. He just said F the streets. But for those of us, because I'm a street scholar, for those of us who came of age in the streets, we know that the streets is more than the crime aspect of the streets. But the crime aspect of the streets is the aspect of the streets that's pushed out there the most. So the irony in Boosie being offended by that, right? And I think what's missing in his statement is just that nuance where he's saying, man, it was more out here than just the crime part. But unfortunately, Boosie, the crime part stands out. The crime part is things are out of balance, bro. The streets lack balance. The streets have become a breeding ground for the prison system. The streets have become a breeding ground for unhealthy people, for unhealthy thought. I mean, just look at your street. What you got going on your street? Now, I'm talking to the hustler and the organizer. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk to the hustler right now. What you got going on your street? Then this ain't no judging. Did you pass out some turkeys this year? I know some hustlers that pass out turkeys. But what do you do beyond that? What do you do outside of flashing your cash at everybody who ain't got no cash, making people want to rob you on social media? Outside of doing that and getting it however you getting it, what are we doing? Do you own a liquor store? Why y'all ain't never ran them Arabs up out the neighborhood? Why y'all keep selling in front of the store and y'all didn't buy the store with all that money? Like, I got questions, especially for OGs that's my age. Why y'all never changed the business model? Why did you just go spend all of it? Why did you go spend all of it? I tell y'all, if the Uhuru Academy sucked at teaching children, if children came out of my school less intelligent than what they were when they came in, they're going to say F the Uhuru Academy. If the outcome ain't desirable, sooner or later, I'm going to lose all my students. That's why I'm always posting testimonials. That's why I'm always showing y'all up front, look, these babies are leaving my school, going back into public school and killing the game. Look, we graduating, they going to college. Look, we creating engineers. Look, we're partnering with this person, partnering with that person. Because I understand that if I don't show results, I don't deserve any praise. Somebody's going to say F the Uhuru Academy. So you can get mad all you want to when these brothers say F the streets. You can call them hypocrites. That's just so weird to me that we're calling them hypocrites. Like, people are calling 21 Savage a hypocrite. That's hypocritical. All you do is talk about the streets, and now you want to say F the streets. But the streets are hypocritical. The streets themselves. What we got going on in the streets right now is hypocritical. The Black Power movement is hypocritical. In the streets, you call each other, you my bro, my family, boop, boop, and then you turn around and say all these niggas is fake at the same time. In the streets, you get to claim something that you never invest in. You're a hypocrite. You say you love your street. Do something for the street. Buy the street. Stop playing like you love that hood. You don't love that hood. You don't know how to love it. I can say that because I've been right there. I've been that activist right there in the streets. My first classroom was in Butler Housing Project, so-called projects, in the community room. And I had to walk the streets to get there. I had to recruit students in the streets. Meet mamas and daddies in the streets. And hell, I didn't go home after group. Hell, I went to the club. I was in my 20s in the street. I went to the hood club. 2,500. In the streets. And what I say in love, because if it wasn't for the streets, I wouldn't be the teacher that I am today. I wouldn't be here. Like when Boots say that the streets shaped you, and I said, man, in a way, the streets shaped me too. The streets made you the man that you are today. And I'm like, dang. In a way, the streets did make me the man I was today. But that don't mean the streets is always right. That don't mean it's infallible. That don't mean nobody can leave. That don't mean nobody can criticize it. You're right. The streets protected me. Police was stopping me and chasing me out the hood when I was teaching Black history. I was telling in Koyo today, and we was riding, because she was like, man, how you know that all the Black leaders in Fort Worth are compromised? I said, baby, because being compromised is how you become a Black leader in Fort Worth. Talking about an elected one. Until somebody showed me something different. Every Black leader I ever seen in Fort Worth that was really about the people was not in office. So they wasn't supporting us, me and Ricky Clark and Tammy Pierce and you know what I'm saying, when we was Robert Nelson and all us, when we was all in Butler Housing and Regal Ridge and setting up rites of passage programs with no grant money. They peek in every now and then like a house Negro going out to the field. Like, oh, y'all hang in there now. Now, I really like what you're doing. I can't say it publicly because you teaching these babies to be proud of themselves. But y'all hangs in there, cowards. That's tradition where I'm from. And now and then they'll sneak us some books, box of chips, set up a little event where my babies can go step and do their thing. Come on, man. Streets full of hypocrites. What we got to do is talking about how do we change that? How do we build that? Can we still buy back the streets? Like the OGs, those that's talking like, come on, man. It was so-called drug dealers that looked out for me when I was teaching in the hood and hanging out at the club, but I'm not even from the hood. I'm walking it. Matter of fact, I'm from Stop 6. I'm from the opposite neighborhood. And I'm up in here in a club full of Five Deuce Hoover Crips and Agland Crips and PPHs and things like that. I wasn't in there with no bodyguard. I wasn't in there with no police escort. Streets looked out. They say, man, he cool, man. He be teaching the kids. He cool, man. He cool. Could have lost my life at any time. So if I criticize the streets, it's coming from nowhere but here. And it's coming from me knowing and seeing the potential. Like I describe the streets as land. You got to lay a street over what? Over land. And our biggest issue in the streets is that we don't own them. Our biggest issue in the streets ain't black on black violence. Is that we don't control the streets. We don't control the politics, the economics on our own streets. You reduce violence when you increase opportunity. That's been proven. You reduce violence when people cherish what they're standing on, when they see the value in what they're destroying. But once you decrease the value of where I live to me. Once that's internalized, once you decrease that, once I lose the value, when I no longer value my surroundings, I'll destroy my surroundings just to eat. It's an African proverb that says the children who are neglected by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. We lived that in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. That was the generation that began burning down the village. Everything I say is out of love. It's from right here. Y'all saw it. If you my age, you witnessed it. Some of us was a part of it. Some of us fought it the whole time. I knew a lot of hustlers that was very aware of what was going on, and they was trying to minimize the damage. I love that, Denar. Shout out to Brazil. Shout out to Brazil that has the largest population of black people in the world outside of Africa. Yeah, we was cut off for ownership for a long time too. But we gave up ownership for inclusion. We got convinced that the white man's ice cream was colder. So when they say, oh, you could come to my business. Oh, progress. And then the marketing machine said that. They turned the civil rights movement into an inclusion movement, into an integration movement. Saying, no, what's wrong with you is that you can't stay at the Hilton. No, what's wrong with me is that my black hotel don't look like the Hilton. No, no, yeah, what's wrong with you is that you can't eat at McDonald's. No, what's wrong is that the credit union ain't giving me my money, that business loan I need so I can go build my McDonald's. What's wrong is that we're not pouring our money into our stuff. That was the issue. But they say, no, having money and being black means come spend it with us. And when you start doing that, you're devaluing what you have. And as it loses value, it no longer becomes a point of pride. It becomes a point of shame. It's no longer a neighborhood. Now it's just a hood because the neighbor, as soon as the neighbor can afford it, they leaving. And we went from a goal in the civil rights movement and black power movement of let's build our own community. Even before that, the 20s, the 30s, go back to the Garvey movement. Man, before that, go back to Reconstruction after the Civil War. We went from let's build our own communities because that's where we'll find safety, to hitting the 80s and Arnold them. Arnold, and as soon as Mr. Drummond picked up Arnold and Willis from the projects and the Jeffersons moved on up, the new goal became get out the neighborhood. Soon as George and Weezy moved to the east side, the new goal that we were taught as children, you can get out. You can get out. That became the new agenda. Get out the hood. Then we became hypocrites. How hypocritical is it for us to say, I'm concerned about the black community, as a black man, and I'm concerned about our community, but you won't live in one. And it became so normalized to get out the hood that asking somebody to stay in the hood became an irrational question. Of course I got out. And if you work hard, you can too. You took the neighbor out. I guess we didn't want to remind ourselves that we still there. I ain't no neighbor. I'm just in the hood. Ain't no neighbors. You took the neighbor out. Now we taking the neighbor out. It's deeper, man. So when these youngsters say F the streets, cause that heat on them. Cause they seeing what's happening to Lil Durk. They seeing what happened to Young Thug. They seeing what's happening. They seeing the pressure. They seeing that the white protection ain't there no more. They looking at the billboard. It ain't no rap songs in the top 200 no more. For the first time in 30 years. They see their brand of entertainment on the decline. And they looking around and saying, if I ain't got this music, what do I got? Oh, the streets? No, I was trying to get out the streets. No, but you tried to get out the streets by promoting the streets. So now that you can't get out the streets, sit your ass down right there and be in the streets. When that Jew, that when he saw that your money was making a profit, was profitable, you know what I'm saying? When you could call him and he'd be like, yeah, come on out to the house. Oh man, you're streaming, you got 1 million streams this week and we're going to look out for you, man. We're family. Then he saw that financial return start to dip. Now you call it, you've reached the phone of Johnny Lessman. Now you call him near, we're sorry. Now you looking around like, now you worrying about who gonna tell it. Now you worried about if you gonna have a Diddy moment. Because now you can't pay the people no more that know your secrets. Man, you say F the streets. It's getting hot. So much of Young Thug's personal life came to surface when he went through what he went through. Don't nobody want that. It's hard to find out you're vulnerable when you thought you was untouchable. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. You sitting up in that jail cell talking about Bob Amin and was right. That's hard. I get it. Had a former student hit me up recently, man. He made some mistakes. You know, we make them, you know what I'm saying? But brilliant young brother, brilliant young king, brilliant. He hit me up like, man, Baba, I should have listened to you. I felt like I just wasted 4-5 years of my life. He had to do a short bid or whatever. I said, man, Malcolm did 7. Malcolm did 7, came out transformed. Who are you now? Maybe you learned that from me then to apply it now. And you learn lessons on that other journey too. Apply those as well, because you have another chance. But you can't carry the same mental. You got to know which one of those values you need to throw in the trash. Which one of those manifestations, you know what I'm saying, do you need to throw in the trash? Do you have a thirst? Like for example, do you need people to see you on top again? Do you need people to see you be that nigga again? You got to be him again. Because that's the main way a lot of cats get back in trouble. That's one of the traps in the streets. When you in the streets like that and you gain some status and you lose it all. Can you get over the fact that no one's going to look at you the same? Because I've seen people take chances simply because they want to look like what they used to be. And now they locked up for life. Back to Boosie. I don't wish prison on no man. But there are clear consequences out here. There's a clear game that you playing. There's a clear system that you playing with. And the ability to navigate that system, whether you committing crime, hell, poverty is a crime. You know what I'm saying? So whether you're committing so-called crime or whether you're out here trying to build a business brick by brick, there's a system out here at play, and there are obstacles in the way, but there are also pathways. The pathways may take you out of your comfort zone, but you have to be willing to do that. Denier, hit me in the chat. Let's talk about it. Matter of fact, we got some people in Brazil. We need to holler. We need to talk. We got people in Brazil. I want to shout out Jay Prince before I move on from this topic. We had the opportunity to work with Ashley Prince and Jay Prince and the Prince family. Shout out to Miss Rhonda as well. Back in 2017, we helped establish a school called the Prince Circle of Legend Blueprint. He's one of the few powerful men who've been in the streets. And of course, he hasn't. I ain't talking about illegally in the streets. He ain't been that way in a minute. I believe him. But in the streets as a businessman, someone who made the money and turned around and reinvested in his community. I've seen it. He showed me. I've seen it. But at the same time, the people in the community aren't mentally, spiritually capable of taking advantage of the opportunities that are being created. That's where we're coming in. That's where the Uhuru Academy is coming in, to put programs on the ground to strengthen the people. See, we look at the individual, the Diddies and all that. We look at the individuals that get rich, and we start hyper focusing on them as if watching them will somehow bestow us with their riches. And we stop looking at each other and how we can make our current situation feel rich. How we can redefine rich. How we can take our rich out of our bank balance. We can separate our wealth from that monetary system that's designed to keep you poor. Remember when we were so rich that we could leave our screen door open? That's rich. Remember that? Remember when we were so rich that when you walk down the street and you was acting up, somebody else's parent could get on you, and there was enough trust in the community to where that won't cause a conflict between the families. If Miss Lula see you, then and she get on your ass, and that's just what it is. That's rich. Remember we were so rich that our hair was good enough? Think about how much money is made by other people because we want to have other hair. Think how much is generated by other people that we generate for other people because we want to look other than what we already are. You're giving your wealth away when you actually have the hair that everybody really wants. If only we knew it. We rich. If our hustlers had a code, you look at other communities, the Italians and the Irish and other groups here, and yes, the Jews as well, that came up by any means necessary, that organized by any means necessary. That means above the groundwork, below the groundwork, but the end of the game, the end of it was ownership. The end of it was a stake in this country or abroad. And there had to be balance, there had to be compromise, there had to be discussion. Oh man, ain't no organized crime in the black community. I'm gonna say this: black organized crime is poorly organized. That's why they saying F the streets. Y'all got all that streaming money, and then buy one street. Show us that. Did you save a family? Not for your ego, but did you save or continue to show us that? Did you support programs in your community? Show us that. Don't call them a hypocrite because they're walking away from their own hypocrisy. Nah. But I love the streets. I do. I walk. There is no Uhuru Academy without the streets. None. We were not funded by anybody in the city of Fort Worth. Nobody. We were helped by local black businesses like the Doc Bookshop. We was helped by Bloods. We were helped by Crips. Remember, young Blood used to swing by the schoolhouse and drop off some black artwork. He'd come in the back too like he was sneaking. Yeah, man, I just love what y'all doing, Blood. I just want to drop. Come on, man, no problem. The streets gave us our first schoolhouse. The streets did that. The streets did that. Yo, I get around people who ain't, I get around black folks who ain't street, and they act like they don't want me to have nothing. But a street, an OG, gave us our first schoolhouse with no questions asked. And we converted a schoolhouse that had been a trap house into a schoolhouse in the middle of Stop 6, right down the street from Dunbar High School. Yeah, we did. We didn't get the key to the city. We in the middle of the hood, transforming children in the middle of the hood, using the community center, the MLK Center, transforming it. And our only support, our primary support, it was two groups, the streets and the activists, working together. The streets did that. But we stayed balanced. I didn't dip over there. They didn't dip over here. We just worked together. Yeah, you can put your baby in the school. Of course you can. Because I know you're making the sacrifices you make so the next generation can take things to another level. It's a whole bunch of family who have traditions of being lawyers, but the tradition was bootlegging liquor at first. The tradition was running whorehouses at first, but then you had a generation that ran the whorehouse that but sent the next generation to law school. What was missed in the streets was an opportunity to build legacies. Yes, you want to get up out the slums, but you're supposed to go build a new community. You're supposed to go build something, not go live amongst other folk, right? You're supposed to go build, so you're supposed to come together as an investment group. Now I'm talking about those of you who left the streets with your college degrees, those of you who found success. You're supposed to come together and build those investment groups and start building a new historic black community. If you're not going to rebuild the south side of Fort Worth, go build another side then. If you're not going to come back to it, build a new one and tell everybody, hey, those of you who come on. Those who ready to get out the hood and come into a black neighborhood, come on. So yeah, man, in its current incarnation, you can't blame nobody for saying F the streets. But at the same time, somebody got to say, save the streets. Somebody has to say, occupy the streets. Somebody got to say, build the streets. Somebody got to say, love the streets, educate the streets, own the streets. When we start talking like that, the whole agenda changes. It'll start reminding us why we was in the streets in the first place. Because nobody goes there to die. So that's my take on that. I hope I make sense. Hope I'm helping you all gain some perspective about it. I'm a certified street scholar. I'm still street. Oh my God. I'm a street cat. I am. I love me a good hole in the wall. I do. I love sitting around watching folks play dominoes and talk noise. All that. I'm all that. I love street culture. Parts that I don't feel are self-destructive. But I'm not going to over-romanticize it and make it seem like it's something that it's not. Because that don't help anybody. Too many people I loved and died out there. Too many people I loved and lost years of their life, gave these people years of their life behind what's going on out there, certain aspects of the culture out there. And those aspects are too dominant when we start telling our stories. We do more in the streets than sell dope. Man, I am humbled that you feel that this conversation is relevant to Brazil, but I'm not surprised. We have the power to do all of that. Everything I just described, we have the power to do it. It begins with you and your speech and how you choose to convey things, how you choose to describe things. Remember what Baba Ricky Clark taught me. There's nothing wrong with us that what's right with us can't fix. Always look at what's right with us. Got to ask ourselves what's right with the streets. How do we take that, what's right, and build on that to bring balance to what's wrong? Because that's what we're trying to achieve, is balance. That's why you bring your hands together like this to pray. This is in the center. It's balance. You don't pray like this. You don't pray like this. You bring it right here. And you begin to commune with your creator in balance. All right. Man, I'm good. I've been on here for an hour and 42 minutes. It felt good though. I thank the creator because I never know what I'm going to say. Let the ancestors take over. And I just speak from my heart. I want everybody out there to love on yourself. Find something right about you, man, and hug it. Look at the people you depend on, the people you love. Find something right about them. Hug that. Look at the community around you. Find something right about it. Hug that. Just at least just through Kwanzaa, right? Right? And I'm busy this year, y'all. I'm outside for Kwanzaa, right? And I know a lot of people be like, man, I don't miss folks. Be like, and don't come on my post with the why we shouldn't celebrate Kwanzaa thing, and you going against Dr. Maulana Karanga because of what you feel like is his past, or because you feel like he was an informant and all that. Geronimo G. Jaga himself says that he don't believe that Karanga was that, and the Panthers and us. Anyway, I ain't gonna even talk about that. Don't come on my post talking about don't do Kwanzaa, right? Cause to me, you're not saying don't do Karanga, and that's crazy because you do Zuckerberg and look at the shit he doing. But anyway, I do first fruits. I do unity. I do self-determination. I do collective work and responsibility. I do cooperative economics. I do purpose. I do creativity. And I do faith. I do all these things. So if someone creates a tool for me to go out here and engage in all 7 of those things with my community, I'm doing it. Period. If I find out that the man who invented the hammer did something crazy, I'm still using my hammer. Just letting y'all know. Man, we using our shoe now because we found out the man that created the hammer owned the slave. What? No, I'm sorry. You can use your shoe. I'm using the hammer. Okay? You're not going to negate the tool. In peace to Dr. Karang. I've had the opportunity to meet him and talk to him. He even went off on me a couple of times. And, he's one of the elders that we still have here. And don't y'all find it funny that we got this pattern to where we honor those who are gone and have disdain for those who are left? Peace to you, Latanya Sadler. That's my friend right there. We go way black. Dunbar in the house, right? Powerful educator in our own right. I love that you and the fam do Kwanzaa. That is so beautiful. So they got me outside for Kwanzaa, y'all. So let me share where I'm going to be. Right, they got me outside for Kwanzaa. I want to invite everybody to come out as well. You know what I'm saying? But each night I'm kind of somewhere different. I got a couple of days off that I'm gonna stream from the house. But each night of Kwanzaa, the Uhuru Academy is a major part of different events. First one is right here. Shout out to the Catalyst Mbangi organizations. The Catalyst Mbangi is a group of organizations, black organizations, that come together to bring upliftment and education to the community. The Uhuru Academy is a proud member of the Catalyst Mbangi. And this year we're having our 2025 Kwanzaa in the Midlands. That's going to be Friday, December 26th at 4 p.m. at the Antioch Baptist Church Family Life Center right here in Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah, y'all know I'm all in South Carolina now, y'all. Yeah, I'm in the mix. Baba's in the mix. But we'll be there that night. I'm going to be co-emceeing that night. Our students are going to be doing some call and response, Black History that night. We have another Kwanzaa presentation that night that we're going to be doing. So the youth are going to be involved. Uhuru Academy gets to light the candle. I'm going to do a call and response with the community, so we're going to have some fun, right? I'm going to teach a little, we're going to have some fun. So come out, and all of our organizations are going to be presenting and talking about what they do. Some of you all need resources. We're going to have some organizations there that definitely have some powerful community resources for you. So that's on the 26th, which is this Friday, right? Now, remember, y'all, you can do Christmas and Kwanzaa at the same time. Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday. You ain't joining a cult. Kwanzaa is a cultural holiday. All right, it's a cultural 7-day celebration. We don't even call it a holiday. It's a cultural celebration. All right, cool. I'm gonna be teaching a class on the history of Kwanzaa too. I'll get y'all the information on that. All right, but then y'all, I got to go right back outside on the 27th and head up to the House of Hathor, my favorite store in Columbia, South Carolina. You see the Uhuru Academy shield down there. You see the Juneteenth, South Carolina Juneteenth Freedom Fest logo down there. Shout out to the whole team at the South Carolina Juneteenth Freedom Fest, the biggest Juneteenth celebration in the state of South Carolina. I am the proud president of the board of that organization. 10 for 10 is year 10. Look, I done plugged Juneteenth. But hey, we start planning the next Juneteenth after the last Juneteenth. We had over 12,000 people come this year. Y'all, we're going, man, location gonna be released real soon. Watch where we have it at this year. Oh man, it's gonna be on. House of Hathor, of course, is down there. And shout out to the Shad Law Firm. We got black lawyers all over the place here in Columbia, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? But brother James Shad, who also leads a men's group at the House of Hathor every week, man, powerful brother. He's gonna be there as well. House of Hathor in partnership with Councilwoman Tyra Little. Shout out to Tyra Little. Presents Kuji Chagalia Kwanzaa. So that's going to be Saturday from 5 to 8. So after I rock on the 26th, guess what I'm doing? We heading right over to the House of Hathor on the 27th. Right? And we're going to talk about self-determination. I get to speak on what that means. That's going to be a call. I'm teaching a class. I'm teaching Black History all week. Right? So we're going to do call and response there. Me and Mama and Koyo might even get on the mic. Y'all just never know what's going to happen on the Kuji Chagalia Kwanzaa. That's going to be Saturday, so we doing that, okay? Now, shout out, y'all. I came to South Carolina. My family came to South Carolina 6 years ago because we had been working with a family on developing the Uhuru Academy, South Carolina. They officially founded in 2014. by Kerry Washington and Keontae. But they were the first Uhuru Academy that we licensed and trained in our curriculum outside of the Uhuru Academy. They became Uhuru Academy, South Carolina. Look, I think it's the best education consultation job ever done. But anyway, I can show you better than I can tell you. On the 28th, right, the UASC International Learning Center, an Uhuru Academy, is having a Kwanzaa party. Right? They having a Kwanzaa party at the Palace Restaurant and Lounge. That's going to be from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Right? And so it's going to be music. It's going to be drumming, dance. I'm sure there's going to be some youth presentations there. The whole 9 yards, right? And I kind of get they're going to make me say something, I know. But that's all right. I'm going to go there to do what I got to do. If nothing, network, come out. We call this campus the Model Institution. This institution is what an African Center school is supposed to look like, right? And so it's what an African Center school is supposed to look like. And so come out if you're in the Columbia area, come meet the team. Come meet these folks that are out here doing incredible things with our youth, teaching our youth how to grow food, how to forage, teaching our youth how to build computer systems, the whole 9 yards. Hey, I'm not just a president, I'm a client. My 3 youngest go to UASC International. And when I tell you I got 3 geniuses on my hands, come on, y'all. So that's going down on the 28th at the Palace, African-owned restaurant right there on 200 Grace's Way. So we'll be in the house that night, right? So boom. So after that, right, after Ujima, the collective work and responsibility night, right? Because it takes collective work to build a school. Y'all come out here, help us build this school. After that, for NIA purpose, I'm going to be streaming some presentations from the house that my students did on Kwanzaa and raising money for Uhuru Academy online and getting y'all ready for Kaumba, right? Because then when we get to Kaumba, boom, we doing this. UA Online, Kaumba Day live stream, right? Kaumba Day live stream. I'm going to put my email in the chat, and I don't care who get it. Here you go, brother. Hopefully it comes through on the YouTube chat. All right, then. Cool. Right? UA Online, Kaumba Day live streaming fundraiser. Building what we imagine. 15 years of Uhuru Academy. Y'all, we created the Uhuru Academy on paper first. This idea came in my mind first. My heart, my mind. I put it on paper. And then literally one day God told me it was time. And I walked off my job with a wife and a whole bunch of children. And we founded the Uhuru Academy. My wife was a soldier. She came with me, but that means she walked off her job. I'm like, oh my goodness, I was relying on that check. But we both stepped out on faith. Here we are 15 years later. Hundreds, if not thousands of young people impacted by what we do over that time. Enrolling people in our online program all over the world, training public school teachers in the model that we created in the streets, building what we imagine. 15 years of Uhuru Academy. All I know is I'm going live from about 1 to 5, if not more, and I'm showing pictures. I'm telling stories. I'm showing testimonials. I'm bringing the receipts. We bringing some edutainment. I'm getting my Black Power Lou Rawls on. Because it's time to raise funds for the Uhuru Academy. So on Ujama Day, I'm going to be chilling, maybe stream from the house. On Nia Day, streaming from the house, just a little bit of something, maybe an hour, something like that. Might show a film, may show Garvey, or may show Mosiah. Beautiful film about Marcus Garvey that I'm a consultant on. You know what I'm saying? But on this day, on Kaumba Day, we talking the Uhuru Academy, y'all. We talking the movement. We talking the growth. We showing testimonials. We showing you what we've done, the work that we've done here in South Carolina, the work we did in Houston and still doing in Houston. Shout out to the Prince family. The work we're doing in Arizona, the work we're doing in Arkansas, the work we're doing in Ghana, Liberia, on Kaumba Day. On Kaumba Day, it's like the sky's the limit. Kaumba Day, I want you to jump on, man. Jump on and share your vision. What you doing for yourself? What you doing for your family? What you doing for the community? Come on and talk about that on Kaumba Day. So I'll be pushing out the link in the event so everybody will know, you know what I'm saying? If you would like to be a guest, if you like, maybe you have a Uhuru Academy testimonial, reach out to me. If maybe you just want to do some well wishes, reach out to me. I'll give you the link to come into the stream and talk about your Uhuru Academy experience. That's on the 31st. Then on the 1st, man, I'm going to try to get some rest. I got to get ready because the babies come back on the 5th. You know, and shout out to the whole team. Shout out to the whole team, Uhuru Academy online team. Of course, Mama and Koyo, my son, Tajiri Kendo, Mama Witness, holding it down, lifting it up in our Mazizi classroom and beyond. Mama Alexis, shout out to you. Mama Coco, shout out to you as well. Baba Mugwagwa, our math specialist out of Zambia. Yeah, we have international instructors. Don't trip. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to our advisor. Shout out to my sister, Dr. Stacy Parker, for her support. Shout out to I ain't gonna tell y'all too much, but shout out to Dr. Oya Mayat as well. Brother Jonathan Love. Shout out to him. Shout out to Miss Mo. Shout out to the team at UASC. You know, Iya Keontae, our director at UASC, Lashea Correa. Man, shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to my Texas family. We still locked in. We still working with young people in Texas. Once Uhuru Academy, always Uhuru Academy. We miss y'all and we love y'all dearly. And we working feverishly to create a reason to come back, because I got to come back and build something. Right? Hey, I love y'all. I don't mind telling y'all. Run this one back. Share it. I'm going to slice it up. But I'm out of here, y'all. Oh, I'll be on Watch Fox News tomorrow. I think around 4 p.m. promoting Kwanzaa. You know, shout out to Celeste Cannon. Shout out to Cynthia Hardy and the On Point team. Everybody here. Again, shout out to the team again at the South Carolina Juneteenth Freedom Fest. There's too many people to name. Dr. Walter Curry, all the great black people that we're working and walking with. Man, we love you. Appreciate you. I'm out. Peace.
You my sunflower, my proof there is a sun. There are things I sacrifice for you, I won't for anyone. You're my deity, the object of my piety, the rock of my sobriety, my cure for this society. Stronger when you ride with me, soft when you confide in me. Honor you decide to be the alpha what's inside of me. You don't make excuses, you make use of my propriety. Love on who I am and give respect to who I try to be. I love that you intuitive, you know just when to lie to me. We talk till you get high with me, I'm falling, you get fly with me. I'm lost as you just finding me. Your voice bring out the grind in me. The choice to break was binding me. The strength to see was blinding me. You must have been assigned to me by the universe that molded me. I feel like a planet surrounded by stars when you be holding me. For you there is no no to me. God as my notary. Something need or want from me, the answer is for sure to be.
Revolutionary, join the revolution. Be a part of the solution, comes with persecution. No confusion, mass surveillance, public execution. Got no time for the wine and go get retribution. Don't we get your ass out in these streets? How can Malcolm rest in peace? You out here walking in defeat. We know the risks when we raise the fist. A long list of those we missed when it came to this. We learn from that and Vesey, their revolution messy. Desalina Duddy, their revolution's bloody. Don't cry because I'm broke, celebrate I didn't break. Didn't fold on my comrades, that mean I beat the state. Don't be depressing with my history, teach that I was great. Acknowledge all my victories and learn from my mistakes. If they take me from my family, don't fall out at the wake. Just meditate and contemplate on who gon' take my place. But don't cry for a revolutionary, join a revolution.
When the sun is eclipsed, I will unleash the Kraken.
Do you know what the Kraken is? The Kraken is the end of us. A colossal elemental beast. It doesn't think, it doesn't feel. Even the gods fear it. Release the Kraken!
When you know that your people are God, you do what it takes to defend them. Get at whoever's against them, and don't hesitate to avenge them. When you know that your people are God, you thankful that you in their likeness. Ain't no more worshiping whiteness, ain't killing your enemies righteous. When you know that your people are God, you do what it takes to defend them. Get at whoever's against them, and don't hesitate to avenge them. When you know that your people are God, you thankful that you in their likeness. Ain't no more worshiping whiteness, ain't killing your enemies righteous. When you know that your people are God, come on, you know that they only on top cause we left. When we wake up, we gon' get them and put them back where our ancestors should have left them. Yeah, I said elf them, but y'all gon' protect them. If it's between them and God, you select them. Worship they idols, your spirit erect them. They killing our people, why can't you reject them? The Bible's corrupt, the Quran is corrupt. As long as they use them to subjugate us. If the religion not picking us up, then put the book down and don't pick it back up. We gods, the scriptures are you. We already did everything that they do. Africans wrote everything that they read. Our ancestors bled but will never be dead. You know that your people are God. When you can survive up my alpha, become educators and doctors. The enemy's mad cause he's not us. You know that your people are God. When after racism and lynching, you patent 1,000 inventions. Y'all niggas ain't paying attention. Or you know that your people are God. This is our land. We was everywhere before anybody else was anywhere. We're the makers, the owners. Mankind is made in our image.
You know that your people are God. When after the savages take us, kidnap and murder and rape us, enslave us and still cannot break us. You know that your people are God. Whenever I step to my altar, the ancestors take what I offer and watch all my enemies falter. You know that your people are God. When after the savages take us, kidnap and murder and rape us, enslave us and still cannot break us. You know that your people are God. Whenever I step to my altar, the ancestors take what I offer and watch all my enemies falter. You know that your people are God. Who on this planet can stop the black woman? Chasing my seeds, you better take heed. When we wake up, all my enemies bleed. I'm a new African, whitey can't stop. Bucky can't steal and Heather can't block. Let's make it clear like a shot of Ciroc. I'ma get free while y'all wait on Barack. We gods, when we don't vote. We gods when they got us chained up on the boat. We gods in the pen, we gods in the bricks. There's nothing wrong with us that we cannot fix. Don't know your power, you can't see the light. This is your hour, you ready to fight? A mother, a sister, a warrior, wife. I know I'm a god, but that on my life. You know that your people are gods. When they infect you with the virus, you still having babies despite this. Can't help it, the whole womb is lifeless. You know that your people are gods. When they infect you with the virus, you still having babies despite this. Can't help it, the whole womb is lifeless. You know that your